Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Bix Weir, roadrunner.com. Watch for banks tonight, especially next Friday, but tonight. Watch for banks all September. Keep an eye on this, the KRE, which is the regional bank ETF. Got quite a bit of weakness coming into September. We will see. It's not about weakness. It's about how many banks fail and which banks fail. And then how are they resolved? The regulators are laying down rules almost every day now because they know it's coming. I put down for the private members a discussion called We Have a Date for the Banking Chaos Trigger to hit. Go check that out on the private road at Road to Ruta. We had a little slam. Silver was doing well, and they slammed it. It's in a holding pattern now. Remember, they can click a mouse and put that price anywhere they want. Anywhere. They could put it to $1 million an ounce for silver. They could also put it to minus $40 like they did with oil. It's a click of a mouse. That's how much power the U.S. government has over markets right now. And it will end, and it will change drastically very soon, I believe. Again, they're probably gunning for the 100-day moving average, which is $23.91. It started to go up to $24, almost $25. Oh, Jesus. Can't let it go by that. There's a specific reason for all this, and I'll show you why the Comex is pretty much all it's used for is the derivative market now. If you look at the deliveries for September is usually the largest derivative month. We're going to come in about 14 million ounces, which is the exact number, just around there, almost exact number that JP Morgan moved from eligible to registered. Here's Michael Say, hashtag silver squeeze right here. This was last week on August 28th. He said, Comex registered silver rises 6.8 million ounces, highest since September. Increase was JP Morgan transferring eligible silver and has transferred 14 million ounces in 2 days. So this came out on Monday, and JP Morgan started these two transfers on Friday. So JP Morgan knew exactly how much they had to move into the registered category to fulfill all the people who are standing for delivery in silver. So that tells me two things. One, JP Morgan knows ahead of time what other companies are going to do. That's called collusion. That's illegal. Number two is that, how do I describe this? I don't even know how to describe it. There's very little transactions going on in the Comex in physical silver. Oh, number two was that there was already 29 million ounces in there. And if 14 million ounces are coming out, why didn't they use any of what was already in there? Why did JP Morgan have to transfer 14 million ounces into the registered category? So is that 29 million ounces kind of a base number that is nobody's going to get rid of that silver? Is it just there for show? Of course it is. So let me show you this. Something that I've been working on. Okay. This is the September. This is the entire year for physical silver deliveries. And it is really shocking. I mean, this is supposed to be a market with thousands of participants in Comex. So many people are in the Comex. Raise your hand right now if you're trading in the Comex. I just saw like 2 or 3 hands go up. That's it. Most are like bullion dealers. Nobody trades in the Comex. Nobody. And you can see by exactly what has happened all year. Now, this is really odd because I was looking at it, I'm like, this is really weird. So these are all the Comex deliveries that happened all year. There's 3 pages of them. 4 pages. 4 pages of them. Let's start with Goldman Sachs. What did Goldman Sachs do all the year? Nothing. Net nothing. December. Issued 82, stopped 82. Issued is the people paying the silver stopped is the people taking delivery. So Goldman is like a non-entity all year. And then in May, they did 69 and 69. That's nothing. That's a zero out. Same with the house account. Look at Macquarie. In December, it was they took delivery of 207 contracts, but issued 200 in March. This is just a spread contract that means nothing. It's nothing. Nothing happened. It's a shell game, one shell to the other shell. Look at this, 12 and 12. So Macquarie's nothing. Macquarie Futures, nothing, 9 and 9. Look at SG America Securities, 1919. It's like these are non-entities. Nothing happens with them. Where is it that silver is being bought and sold, and where is it in the Comex structure that gives the Comex the position of a market price setter? Because everybody takes their price off the Comex. These are just banks trading back and forth to each other and doing nothing. Marex Capital, 53.53, 51.51, 126. These are just those spread trades. They just roll them over to nothing happens on the Comex. And it goes, I went down the whole thing. Now, BMO Capital is a little different. And it's not a lot. It's 550 contracts they took delivery. Now, what is it about BMO Capital? A little birdie told me that's where PSLV, the Sprott ETF, gets their physical silver. So, yeah, that would make sense. There's 2.5 million ounces that got delivered all year from BMO Capital. It's a Canadian bank. And that's a Canadian ETF. So nothing's happening in silver on the Comex. Why do people even use it to determine the price of silver? Maybe because there's no other silver market on the planet. LBMA is not an exchange. It's an association. There's no other silver market on the planet. And look at it's the same thing. Look at HSBC, one of the more criminal banks. Look at this, 561 and 335. That's the biggest, like 200. That's, what is that, 100,000 ounces of silver. It's nothing. HSBC got kicked out of the silver market when JP Morgan did too. Standard Chartered Bank. Now, this is the interesting thing. And I came out when they they provided 2,400 contracts, which is what, 12 million ounces? That's massive. But look at Standard Chartered Bank. Basically, overall, the entire year, all they're doing is supplying 3,000 ounces, 15 million ounces, or 3,000 contracts, 15 million ounces. They're just dumping out their deliveries. Here you go. We're out of this game. I guarantee you, Standard Chartered Bank won't come back. Ever. And I said that back in July. Here we are with Wedbush, which is a nothing, and it's the same thing. You look at these, and they're just trading back and forth with each other. Okay, you make money this month, we'll make money that month. And nobody actually delivers physical metal until you get to two entities. And it's the same all the way down. Scotia Capital, look at this. All the way down, it's the same. Here's the big difference. Bank of America Securities. Look at the stops. These guys are taking delivery of physical metal. During the whole year, including December, up to now, they've taken delivery of 55 million ounces of silver. Where is the CFTC saying, oh my God, why is Bank of America the only bank taking millions and millions of ounces of silver off the exchange? And who's providing that silver? It's JP Morgan, of course, although in the customer account. Now, JP Morgan this month had to come up with 997 contracts, almost 10 million ounces. No, what is it? 5 million ounces. Why JP Morgan? Because look, it's their customer account. There's the one that took it. So the customer account says, okay, we need 5 million ounces, and JP Morgan house account says, okay, here's your 5 million ounces. That's a big chunk of what was delivered into the registered category in the Comex deliveries. This is all just a shell game, and you can see it in these numbers. Nobody's taking metal. JP Morgan didn't take 1 ounce of silver this year. The guys like Jeffrey Christian who says, oh, Ted Butler doesn't know what he's talking about, Bank of America and JP Morgan lease. That's bullshit. JP Morgan never had 1 billion ounces of silver. That's bullshit. And here's the evidence and the proof. Jeffrey Christian works for the criminal cabal. And he's the biggest mouthpiece. He colludes in the manipulation. And when they're in trouble is when he keeps posting videos, which he has been lately. Jeffrey Christian is the King Poobah of CPM Group, a bought and paid for statistical company that analyzes gold and silver for the banks. ... for the banks. He runs the cover. Used to work with Jay Aaron, who got bought up by Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs says, well, we can't keep rigging without a third party to say, no, there's nothing going on here. So he split off. They promised Jeffrey Christian that they'll pay his fair share of the booty they made off of rigging the silver market and the gold markets. And that's what he does. Ask Jeffrey Christian about market manipulation for years. No, there's no such thing. These tinfoil hat guys. He calls us all tinfoil hat guys. Except it's right here in the numbers. There's nothing going on except between Bank of America and JP Morgan. It's sad. It's embarrassing, especially for our regulators who, well, it's like half the regulators are working with the companies they work for. Yes, there is a JP Morgan employee as a CFTC commissioner. The guy who runs the head of the OCC, the Office of Comptroller of Currencies for the large bank supervision, is an ex-JP Morgan guy. How could they get away with... That's how they get away with everything. They put their own guys as the cop on the beat. It's crazy. I know, broken record. Big's broken record. When's it going to happen? Well, there's a lot of things. Again, Jenny Moonstone said silver will be set free when the child issue is exposed. And the latest is Ramaswamy. That guy says he's going to release the Epstein client list. Well, most of us already know. I mean, it's out there. You can find it on the internet. And it's, half of Hollywood and most of, Washington. This is a big deal. It is the number one problem in the world. And it's not white supremacy. Are you kidding me? These crazy Democrats. Number one problem is child trafficking, child abuse, ritual child abuse. It is so bad and so infested in every country. The United States probably one of the biggest because we're really good at closing our eyes. 2 million kids are grabbed every year and disappear into the void. Some say they're consumed in a certain way. That has to stop. And I do think Trump has been doing, when he was a president, did a lot to stop it. But that's how they control humanity. You get someone on that, you control them for their life. That's what Jeffrey Epstein was set up to do. Even Trump came out and is talking about the same thing. It is time to expose this stuff. Listen to Trump.
I don't know what Barr said about it either. I have no idea what he said. What did he say? He killed himself, probably?
He said he killed himself and that they were going to do this investigation. They never did the investigation. It's never been public. Well, and they hid it. And, why are they doing that? And clearly Barr knew. But why would Bill Barr be covering up the death of Jeffrey Epstein?
Bill Barr didn't do an investigation on the election fraud either, okay? He said he did, and he pretended he did, but he didn't. McSwain, the U.S. attorney in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, said Barr just wouldn't let him do it. It was crazy. Barr became so petrified, so frightened of being impeached. We're going to impeach him. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
He's not being impeached. He was in on it. Bill Barr, of course they have dirt on Bill Barr. They have dirt on everybody, or you don't make it into Washington.
Not a big moment in history. But they said, we're going to impeach. They play a much rougher game, the left, the lunatics. And they were going to impeach Bill Barr, and he was petrified. Now, how do you not get impeached? Don't do any of this stuff. But he didn't do the job there. I don't know what he did with Epstein, but possibly he didn't.
Do you think it's possible that Epstein was killed?
Oh, sure, it's possible. I mean, I don't really believe. I think he probably committed suicide. He had a life with, beautiful homes and beautiful everything, and he all of a sudden he's incarcerated and not doing very well. I would say that he did, but there are those people. There are many people. I think you're one of them, right? But a lot of people think that he was killed. He knew a lot on a lot of people.
He was killed.
You think so?
I think the closer you look, I'm not a conspiracy person at all. I believe everything I hear. But yeah, the closer you look into it, I mean, the Attorney General of the United States, your Attorney General, clearly lied about the Epstein death.
Yeah,
and
he was.
Why?
He was certainly. It wasn't well done. They had no cameras. They had no anything. Everybody was sleeping, and a case could be made. Look, I'm not going to get involved in it, but I can.
I love how Trump dances around not getting involved in it. Go see Sound of Freedom. Go see that movie, and then dig deeper. It is time that everybody knew what was being done to our children and how they were being used to blackmail politicians, bankers, how they're being literally ritually abused and many times, if not all times, killed off. It is the most horrific thing you can even think about. Nobody likes it. When I bring it up in conversation with Amy's around, she says, don't talk about it. She can't. Even after seeing that movie, she cried at Sound of Freedom the entire movie. It is so hard to talk about. But we have to talk about it. That's what we have to fix. When that gets fixed, we can fix everything else. And that's why Jenny for 2 years has been saying, when the problems, when it comes to expose what is being done to the kids, we will understand and silver will be set free. So free the kids, free silver. And I think it's happening very quickly. All right. We all know they can steer hurricanes, typhoons. They can create weather like that. We've had the technology for over 100 years to control the weather. There is something headed for, like, the worst part you can possibly think of for China. Super typhoon. One, it will give China the reasoning, we're going to open the coffers and flood money everywhere. It will also give them the reason to cut off the United States from all goods and services. At least all goods. It's headed right to Hong Kong and all the shipping ports. So don't expect the United States to have anything made in China for quite a while. Perfect excuse. It's man-made. We won't be able to fix these ports for 3 months. What would that do to inflation if China isn't exporting to the United States anything anymore? Ultimately, that's what's going to happen. But this is we can blame it on this super typhoon that's coming through. So we'll see what happens. It's happening quickly. I do see hyperinflation. The fact that this is happening right before all these events coming in September makes sense. This is, for the Comex, it's the best thing ever. Because it's a force majeure, right? In the act of God. Force majeure means nobody has to deliver anything. Not that they were. We'll see. Interesting that the Labor Department is finally adjusting all of the payroll numbers for every month in 2023 because they lied in every month. Now they're making it look really bad. So they lied for 8 months, and now they're making it look really bad by readjusting all the numbers. So we're going to lie to you until we need a reason to open the spigots come September. And we are September 1. It was right here. We got a month of craziness. So stay tuned to Road to Ruta. Again, next week, I just announced this, we will be ending the Ruta Lives coin giveaway for the private road members. If you want one of these coins, the coolest coin ever made, join the private road, hit subscribe today, and or renew. You can renew as many years extra as you want. You get a coin per year, and that would be it. And then we give away a crypto that I know you guys will like, and that will happen. I'm shooting for Tuesday, so get all your orders in this week if you want the silver Ruta coin. It's a 1-year subscription. And, then Tuesday we'll be giving away a crypto, a cool crypto. All right? That's what I got for you. This is Bix. I'll talk to you later.